Hi, everyone. I hope you're well. Thanks very much for joining us on this webinar about the support structures and how the support structures are going to be modified moving forward. So as you know, the current support structure is that one of the support team will have a set number of franchisees and usually they're geographically based, but around that, the modus operandi for the support team is that they are there to make the franchisees more successful. That is their mantra. But around that, they have a lot of freedom as to how they make that happen. Now, one of the things that we've seen across the country is that we need to put some additional formality, some additional structure in place in order to make sure that nobody can fall through the cracks, in order to make sure that every single franchisee is being served as well as they possibly can be, that every single person that's a part of our community has got the same opportunity as everybody else, that they understand what is out there, what we can do with them, and they have the same access to their support person. So in order to do that, we at HQ have been working on a structure, and that's what we're going to roll out. So let me take you through exactly what is going to change. So this is our support commitment and structure moving forward. Now, what we're trying to achieve from this structure, like I said, is that we're going to get a consistency across everybody in the UK. Also, we're going to get a consistent commitment from the support team. So it doesn't matter what part of the country that you're in, you will still get the same commitment, the same level of service, the same access to the same face-to-face courses as everybody else. Because what we're going to, part of this is that we're going to be moving more courses to be more regionally based. We're also going to improve our record keeping, because from one conversation to the next, it might be a month, it might be 6 weeks, it might be a significant period of time, by which point both people that have been in that original conversation might have forgotten what was talked about, what goals were set. And so we've improved the amount of records that we can keep and improved our record keeping accuracy as well. It's also transparent, so those records that are kept by the support team are going to be totally transparent to the franchisee, so everybody can see what's been discussed, what arrangements have been made, what steps have been agreed upon, what goals are going to be set. So the goals and the next steps is something that is obviously really important, because that helps to drive your growth, that helps to fuel you, to motivate you. So goals and next steps are broken out specifically as separate things aside from all the other record keeping, because they are so important. And then we're going to incentivize progression as well. And I'll get into that and exactly what we mean by that in just a second. Now, to help and incentivize you as you move up through the tiers, we're actually going to change the percentage of MSF that you would pay on the deals that you get done. This is what your support team asks you to report upon at the end of every month. How many deals you've done, what the financial income that you've made is, the net income that you've made, and then you will pay, on average, at the moment, everybody pays 5% of that net income to us. Now, in order to incentivize you, when you first start, it will start on 5% because you're going to need a lot of help and support. As you move up to trader, that will then come down to 4% because you'd need less help and support. But then when you go up into the top tier, which is Guru, and there are certain characteristics, certain levels that you need to achieve in order to go up to Guru, you would then pay 2% of your net income. On passive and on review, it would go back up to 5%. So we're incentivizing you to move through the ranks, to start an incubator, to go through to trader, and then get up to the level of Guru, at which point you'll only pay 2% of your MSF on a monthly basis. Previously, the group support sessions have been a mastermind basis. Now the group support sessions are going to have an element of that, but they're also going to be focused on a specific topic. And then we'll have a business review monthly as well. Now, each one of these things, so we've got a Zoom, a face-to-face, a group support, or a business review, each one of these things has got a templated list of things that the support person needs to have a conversation with you about to make sure that they're asking the right questions and that they're probing you to make sure that you're achieving as much as you possibly can. So the difference between a Zoom and a face-to-face will be different in the template, because on a face-to-face meeting, which happens less frequently than a Zoom, they're going to go into more depth as to what exactly is going to help you the best to make progress. So on an incubator, you can see that the Zoom is weekly. On a trader, you can see that a Zoom is fortnightly. And on a guru, the Zoom is monthly. And that is the most frequent contact that your support person has to commit to and that you have to commit to when you get into that level. The face-to-face is then for an incubator is monthly, for a trader is every 2 months, and for a guru is quarterly. So you can see that as you need less input from your support person, they gradually step back and allow you to move forward in ways that you've proven that you can move forward previously. But when you get to incubator, or when you start off on incubator, they are there for you as much as they possibly can be to help make sure that you understand what to do, where to do it, how to do it, and if you've got any questions, they are present for you all the time. Getting onto the present for you all the time, something else that we've done as part of this new support structure is we've signed up to Calendly for every support person. So every single support person now has a few Calendly links, which means that they should be sending these out to you on a regular basis, just to make sure that you know that if you want to book something with that support person, you can click on the link, you can see all the time that's available in their diary, and you can book something in without having to go through them, without making contact with them. You can book in a call or a Zoom meeting or whatever it is you need into their diary because you can see their free time. And at that point, you'll need to give them a call, and they'll be there. They'll have that time set aside in their diary to help you move forward with whatever it is that you need help with. So these are the 5 tiers, and this is the commitment that they will make to you. So you've got the main ones, which are incubator, trader, and guru. And then beneath, you've got review and passive. So review is when somebody hasn't hit the goals, hit the targets that they were expecting to make. And they might have done this consistently. So we need to have a conversation as to why exactly they've been missing their targets, why they haven't been putting the time in. So that will be a one-to-one meeting between the support person, the franchisee, and me to work out how we can move forward, or if indeed there is a way of moving forward. For passive, that would be something that is agreed with the support person and with the franchisee for a set period of time. That's very important. We can only accept that somebody is going to be passive for an agreed period of time. People can't just say that they, want to be passive and it's an open-ended thing, because that just doesn't work. It's not serving us, and it's not serving you as being part of this franchise. So I hope that helps you understand the different tiers. How you move through these different tiers is completely bespoke. You will start off in incubator. Now, if you're somebody that's, or if somebody joins us that has been in property for a long period of time, and we can see that very quickly, they wouldn't have to stay in incubator for very long. The minimum amount of time would be 1 month. But on average, we would expect people to stay in the incubator tier for 6 months. And at that point, they can move to any of the other tiers. If they've hit their goals, if they've been putting in the action, they'll normally move across to the trader tier. And then for a period of time, they'll be in the trader tier until they hit the goals, hit the numbers, in order to move across to the guru tier. And if they don't hit those numbers, or if they haven't put in enough time, we've got passive and we've got review to move to as well. But as you can see, anybody can move in and out of any of the groups at any one time. You will be informed as to what group you're in. It's transparent. Like I said, part of this is that it's totally transparent. You can actually see on the CRM which group that you're in. So like I said, we're incentivizing it by reducing the amount of MSF that you pay on your net profit as you move up the tiers. But also, that should have been on the same slide, never mind. But also, we're going to put in additional incentives to be in the guru program, or in the guru tier. So we'll host some events for the gurus. We'll put on additional networking events for the gurus, in order so that they can spend a bit of time with each other, finding out different strategies between each other, as well as, don't forget that the gurus will be mixing in your weekly local events as well. So it's not as if we're taking them out of the network and putting them in a little room all by themselves. They are mixing with you guys. The support people will use them as experts in specific strategies or structures. But we're also going to put on additional stuff for the gurus, because they've shown that they can do it. They've worked their way through the system, And we want to make sure that that is a way of incentivizing everybody else to get up to that guru tier as well. So how are we going to put this into place? Well, we've got specifically designed software that we're using in the background that holds all of this information and all of the templates, all of the answers, all of the information that you've given to your support person, so that you can best use that to come up with those next steps and come up with those goals. You will get access to this through the calendar links that the support person gives to you, because in that calendar link for a meeting that you have arranged with them, you'll have a link in that calendar. So you can click on that link and it'll show you all of the meetings that you've held previously and the template for the meeting you're about to hold, so that you can see all of the questions they're going to ask you and all the things that you're going to talk about. In that link, it will also show you the next steps and it will show you your goals. So you have access to remind yourself as to what you're supposed to be working towards and what you're supposed to be focused on for a set period of time that you've agreed with your support person. Like I say, it's all built into your Outlook calendar, so there's no separate login that you need to remember. You don't need to get familiar with a separate software. When you click on that link that is in your calendar, and it doesn't have to be your Outlook calendar, it can be an iCalendar, it can be whatever other calendar, a Google Calendar, whatever other calendar. When you click on that link, it will take you to the software and you will see all the records that are relevant to you. So that's a really powerful way of making sure that we are as a team, you and us together, have set the direction that we want to go, and we're keeping on that path. It will also help you keep on top of your admin, because there's not a lot of other stuff to remember. And if you are writing down your goals, if you are writing down the next steps that you need to take, you know that it's stored in there, in that software, and that's available to you all the time. So what happens now? So from your point of view, there's actually not anything to do from this. This is all background stuff that we've been working on for quite a long time now. When your support person gets in touch with you, you need to make sure that you're engaging with them and you're booking in appointments into your Outlook calendars. And those are repeating appointments. So if you're in the incubator tier because you've just started and you need to have a weekly call with your support person, make sure that you accept those calendar requests, and make sure that you familiarize yourself by clicking on that link that's in that calendar request with the kind of conversations that you're going to be having. And then after a couple of weeks, go back into that and make sure that you can see the results of everything that you've been talking about, because that should all be recorded in that software, which is available on that link in your Outlook calendar. So this is a good incentive for you to make sure that you're keeping organized. And, you know, when you come on the induction day, when you first start, we talk about keeping organized. We talk about making sure that you've got a calendar and you section time off to stay focused on particular activities at any one time. This is just absolutely congruent with that message that we've been giving out for a long period of time. Make sure that you are staying organized, and this is part of your week, because having a mentor, having somebody there that is willing to overlook your business, tell you the good things, pat you on the back and give you praise for the stuff that you've done well, but also highlight the things that you haven't done well and help you improve on those things that you haven't done well. This is a huge incentive. This is a huge part of your business, and it's something that you need to make sure that you're booking in regularly. So make the commitment to your tier. And on that, what I'm going to do is the tier system and the commitment that the franchisee and the support person need to make together on how frequently you have Zoom calls, how frequently you have phone calls, how frequently you do a business review. I'm going to rip that out of this presentation. I'm going to put it on a Word document and I'm going to put it in the CRM. So again, for transparency's sake, everybody can see what commitment the support person should be making and you should be making to the support person, because you can see it in the CRM whenever you need to see it. If there are any changes in your circumstance as well, you know, stay in touch with your support person. If you do need to take a month out because of personal circumstances, just get in touch with your support person, let them know what's going on, and agree a time to hook back up together after the personal circumstances have been dealt with or are over with. Just make sure that they understand what it is, because, you know, nobody wants somebody to be calling them when really your mind is elsewhere and you want to be dealing with something else. So if anything changes, make sure that you stay in touch with your support person. Make sure you use that Calendly link as well. So you've got these regular contacts with your support person, but that doesn't mean that that's the only time that you can talk to your support person. The Calendly links are there to make sure that you have access to them whenever you need it. And you can see their diary. You can see where the spare areas are in their diary, and you can book something in. Because, you know, I'm guilty of this. I have a few phone calls every single day that I just can't pick up because I'm in a meeting, I'm doing something else. And by the time the meeting's finished, I've got other people calling me, or I've got other things that I need to deal with. And I probably forget to call some people back. So if you book something into the diary, you know that you are going to get that time with your support person. And that Thursday local meeting, now sometimes those local meetings are going to be themed, and there'll be something that, you know, you might not be interested in, but there will be an element of networking. There will be an element of masterminding about all of those local meetings as well. So you will have a local meeting, and I'll leave it up to the support people to decide where those local meetings should be hosted, but you will have a local meeting every single week. So please take advantage of those local meetings, if only for networking. But I think we can all agree that networking is a pretty powerful thing. So there will be themed local meetings based on specific topics, like, for example, sourcing rent to rent. We will make these local meetings and the themes that are coming up available to you, so you can choose which ones you're going to jump on. Now, these local meetings will also include implementation days, and that also comes back to something that I've been working on for a while, which is getting these courses, the training courses, online. Now, I'm going to set a date for the first training courses to be online, and that date is going to be the 16th of September. And by the 16th of September, I would like to get the rent-to-rent training course and the commercial conversions training course online. Now, I'm not going to go into any more detail on that now because this is about the support structure, but I will do another webinar and I'll send out an email detailing what the new structure will be for the training courses, because it's not just simply a case of recording the training course and putting it online, because we are running the implementation days alongside the training courses. We're running the tests and your access to the implementation days alongside this new support structure and the training days. So I'll explain how all of that works in another webinar. But this is the new support structure. Hopefully you can see what we're trying to achieve out of this is that everybody has the same level of access, the same level of contact, the same level of transparency with their support person that we didn't have going in the past. In the past, the support team have done a terrific job with making sure that they're there for you, for your needs. But now is the right time to put a little bit more structure in place while maintaining that access that you've always had to your support person. So if you have any questions, obviously come back to us, franchise@source.co, use that email address, or just go straight to your support person. Your support people will have put you in the right tier for your needs, and now is the right time for you to commit to that level of contact, because your support person is ready to commit to that level of contact and help you move forward as best they possibly can. So if you've got any questions, go to your support person. Otherwise, thanks very much for joining me on this webinar, and I will speak to you soon.